Jack and the Beanstalk, desire. Every story begins with a lack. What moves us often is an emptiness, a pit in the stomach, an absence in the heart, an unfulfilled promise of life. João lives with his mother in a place forgotten by time. Poverty is his daily companion, and every meal is a victory, every loss a real threat. João's mother is strong, but resignation weighs heavily on her face. She knows there are no more options. The last cow, thin, old, no longer gives milk. It's the last hope being silently sucked away each morning. João, between childhood and adolescence, feels he doesn't belong to this destiny. Something inside him cries out for adventure, change, an impossible solution. The typical dream of those who haven't yet been defeated by the harshness of reality. The narrative follows mother and son in conversations full of silences. "John, we need to sell the cow. With the money, we can buy food and maybe, just maybe, hold out a little longer." He reluctantly accepts. He sees in his mother's eyes a sadness he refuses to let grow. It's a painful mission, but it's also the beginning of uprooting, the first step outside his comfort zone. When everything you have is about to disappear, would you bet on an unlikely promise? How far would you go to try to change your life, even knowing that maybe it's all just an illusion? João leaves with the cow, slow scene, farewell music. Along the way, he is surprised by an encounter that will change everything. A strange man, an ambiguous figure, a mixture of wise man and charlatan appears. He smiles, holds up 5 magic beans, promises worlds. "These beans are special, just plant them and your life will never be the same." João's gaze shines, hesitates, imagines the possibilities. The will to believe overcomes prudence. He trades the cow for beans. The decision, seen from the outside, is folly. From the inside, it is the hope of those who refuse to live confined by the fate of adults. John returns home. The mother, upon hearing of the deal, explodes in frustration and sadness. She cries, screams, curses the beans and the man who deceived her son. She throws everything out the window. Night falls upon them both, each trapped in their disillusionment. And you, what were your magic beans? What incredible bets have you made just because you couldn't stand the same old thing anymore? When did you risk everything, even if it seemed foolish to the world? While everyone is sleeping, something starts to sprout outside. The camera reveals a magical point of view. The bean germinates, the stem grows, the leaves tear the sky, transporting João's desire to another dimension. Tomorrow, the impossible will rise to the sky, and the story is just beginning. The ascent and the first encounter with the unknown. The sun had barely risen when João woke up. He goes out to see if he can find some solace from the difficult night, and what he finds is impossible to describe. The beanstalk has grown so tall that it is lost in the sky. It's the chance, the challenge, the call to the adventure he's always dreamed of. The mother, fearing for her safety, screams, but João is determined. The adult world didn't convince him to give up on his own dreams. He begins to climb. Each meter is not just movement, it is maturation. The journey is long and arduous. Breathing quickens, arms tire, but every leaf, every node on the stem is an opportunity to test courage and resilience. The landscape changes. Down below, everything becomes small. Up above, everything is new and threatening. Have you ever been tempted to step outside the box and climb something impossible? Is there within you a desire to look at the world from above, to see other horizons? What did you leave behind when you accepted the risk of the unknown? At the top, the clouds, the feeling of victory, but also of fear. John contemplates the unknown. A giant lives there, a monstrous figure, but not merely terrifying. He represents the power that intimidates, the parental figure, the greatest challenge of maturation. The castle is sumptuous, but hostile. João, driven by curiosity, sneaks in and begins to explore. Attentive ears, furtive glances, desire for conquest. He is welcomed by the giant's wife, a character who, in the Jungian script, can be seen as an aspect of the welcoming unconscious. the anima that offers food, temporary protection, and teaches about the dangers of the adult world. John witnesses riches. A hen lays golden eggs, a harp plays music on its own, coins shine, symbols of creative power, of inner treasure, of the possibilities that courage can achieve. The giant, sensing a strange presence, roars, "Fee-fee-fo-fum," smells human, wants to devour any intruder. João hides, observes, learns to negotiate with the impossible. He manages to escape with some coins. As he descends, he feels the pleasure of conquest, but also the weight of fear. Nothing is easy and everything costs courage, cleverness, and above all, responsibility for your actions. When did you overcome the first giant in your life? What was your secret treasure taken from your comfort zone? And what changed in you from that moment of rupture? João returns home. His mother is surprised. Poverty seems to lose ground, but the desire is not satisfied. The secret calls for new adventures, and the beanstalk is still there, calling for other journeys. The new journeys, the confrontation, and the cut. Now that John has tasted adventure, it is impossible to regress to his former place of passivity. The small fortune brought by the first robbery does not resolve the original emptiness. It is only the beginning of a series of searches for meaning, confirmation, power. It doesn't take long for João to feel an even stronger call from the magic rod. It's not just about wealth. There's within him the drive to dominate the giant, to overcome his deepest fear, to conquer that which, until now, has been forbidden to him. He goes up again. At the castle, he is again welcomed by the giant's wife, who warns him, "Be careful, boy. The giant is terrible, but it is your own inner limits that can bring you down." João observes, learns. He sees the giant devour stools and treasures without any sense of restraint, a critique of adult veracity, greed, and power that knows no compassion. This time, John steals the goose that lays the golden eggs. The escape is dramatic. The giant almost catches him. The fear is real, but the combination of courage, cunning, and support makes him descend the pole once more. At home, novelty brings prosperity. The mother, disbelieving, begins to see her son in a different light, but fears what she cannot control. The essence of the rite of passage is to abandon absolute protection. John is still not satisfied. There is one last treasure, the magic harp, the supreme symbol of creativity and awakened intelligence. On the third and most dangerous ascent, the giant is on the alert. The harp cries out, "Help, they're taking me!" The giant wakes up, and the chase begins. The whole world seems to be teetering on a tightrope between conquest and disaster. On the ground, João doesn't hesitate. He picks up the axe and with superhuman effort, quickly cuts down the beanstalk. The plant of a bridge between the world of children and the world of adults falls with a crash. The giant falls from the sky, dead. João and his mother are finally free from their greatest fear. What giants have you slain, or had to let die to grow and find your place in the world? Have you realized that more important than climbing is knowing when to cut to end, to make difficult choices to protect what you love? The wealth brought is finally used with discernment. It's not just materiality, it's the maturity achieved through each risk, each trauma, each internal journey. John now realizes the magic beans bore fruit, but the greatest miracle was not the gold, but rather the authorization to be the hero of his own destiny, not a victim of circumstances. Finally, Jack and the Beanstalk isn't just about luck or childish cleverness. It's the myth of those who dare to dream and, at the same time, must learn the risks and responsibilities of their own destiny. In the Jungian view, each symbol is an invitation to self-knowledge. The beanstalk, it is the awakening of the unconscious, access to mysterious areas of the psyche and life. The giant represents the fear of the adult world, the shadow of authority, everything that challenges our courage, but also what we need to face and integrate in order to grow. The giant's wife, it is the generous support of the inner feminine, the adaptation, the listening to emotions, the compass of intuition to survive in unknown territories. The stolen objects, golden eggs, harp, coins, Our internal gifts, creativity, potential, the ability to build one's own story, the cut of the foot, final stage of maturation, recognizing the limits of fantasy and beginning to act responsibly, cutting dependencies and taking ownership of one's own path. In the end, Juan does not return to being the poor, dreamy boy he was at the beginning. He is the protagonist, the hero, and the adult. His mother, who previously feared the future, discovers in her son's courage the possible miracle of hope. And you? What childish part still holds magic beans waiting to be planted? Which internal or external giant is challenging you today? What have you already achieved that only makes sense when you embrace who you have become, with your fears, risks, and everything precious about you? The story invites you to rise, fall, learn, and, above all, to cut off what no longer serves you in order to finally mature. If this in-depth version of Jack and the Beanstalk inspired you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone who needs the courage to challenge their own giants. Leave us a comment. What was your biggest risk? And what did you gain or lose when you cut down the beanstalk of your life? Here every week, new stories, classic tales, and psychological interpretations to help you transform myth into real learning. Activate the bell, and let's go up together. And also down from fantasy to a life with more meaning. Until the next journey, add to follow, check sources,